Good. Hello, this is Pramod Satya. Now I'm going to discuss about the project which we have done under CSE3501 Information Security Analysis and Audit J component. Myself T. Pramod Satya and my team members are P. Keshava Manisekhar, Dintyala Tulsi Pratyusha, Arikatla Harshita, Monica Singh, Vuyyuru Gowtham Reddy and myself. So, introduction. Password cracking is the process of attempting to gain unauthorized access to restricted systems using common passwords or algorithms that guess passwords. In other words, it's an art of obtaining the correct information or password that gives access to a system or a website, in our case, protected by an authentication method. Password cracking employs a large number of techniques to achieve its goals. The cracking process can involve either comparing stored passwords against word lists or use algorithms to generate passwords that match. So, network sniffing. Basically, we'll fresh up all the basics on the theory part of the project. So, network sniffing is a form of data packet analysis enabling a real-time network monitoring. Network sniffing is used to diagnose network problems and analyze overall network and application activity. With packet-level insights, admins can pinpoint slowdowns, categorize and assess traffic, and identify security risks. We use this process to sniff into a network and get the sensitive information as an attacker. So we'll be using a tool called Wireshark. For network sniffing, we use Wireshark tool, which is available pre-installed in Kali Linux for sniffing into a network. Wireshark is a packet sniffer and analysis tool. It captures network traffic on the local network and stores that data for offline analysis. Wireshark captures network traffic from internet, Ethernet, Bluetooth, wireless. You can set it only to show you the packets sent from one computer. So this is a small screenshot of how the tool looks. Now, the another attack is social media phishing. Through this also we can harvest the credentials. In the recent years, the phishing techniques evolved so much to include social media like Facebook or Twitter or Google or Gmail. This type of phishing is often called social phishing or social engineering. The purpose remains the same: to obtain confidential information and gain access to personal files using SE Toolkit. The SE Toolkit (SET) was created and written by Dave Kennedy, the founder of TrustedSec. It's an open source Python-driven tool aimed at penetration testing around social engineering. So, using the SE Toolkit, we'll be performing all the social engineering in Kali Linux. So here there are some in the screenshots. We can observe 11 different types using SE Toolkit we can perform. So now, the next thing is mass mailer attack. Mass mailer attack is a type of social engineering attack in which large amount of mails is sent to the victim full its emails inbox and crash it. This is mostly used by the hackers when an important mail is come to the victim device and the victim doesn't know about that. We do this as continuation to the phishing website task. Man in the middle attack using ARP poisoning is our next task. Man-in-the-middle attack, or MITM in short, is an attack where the attacker secretly relays and possibly alters the communications between two parties who believe that they are directly communicating with each other. ARP poisoning. ARP poisoning is also known as ARP spoofing, is a type of cyber attack carried out over the local area network that involves sending malicious ARP packets to a default gateway on local area network in order to change the pairings in its IP to MAC address table. ARP protocol translates IP addresses into MAC addresses, as we know, and we will be able to perform this using a tool called Ettercap. Ettercap is a free and open source network security tool for the man-in-the-middle attacks on local area network. It can be used for community network protocol analysis and security auditing. So this is how the tool looks, and we'll be capturing the data from my Windows host machine to the gateway. We will be using Wireshark in this case also to capture the packets being sent on a network as a part of man-in-the-middle attack. For capturing all the packets, we have to make some changes in IP forward, which will be elaborate in a performing experience. Right now, we are on our Kali screen. Now we are ready to perform our first task, which is password cracking using Wireshark. For that, we have to open Wireshark from Kali Linux, which I'm doing right now. So when it opens, as our network is ETH0, we can observe it over here. It's a wired connection, Ethernet network. So we have to double click on it. So it automatically starts sniffing your network, all the data packets which are being traveled in your network, in our own network, can be seen over here. You can see the SSDP protocol packets and ARP IGMP packets are being sent. Now there are we can capture anything. We have so many display filter types. We can filter based on the protocols. Like now, if we want only ARP protocols, we can filter it and only the ARP protocol packets will be visible now. So now in order to perform the password cracking, we have to open a vulnerable website or a HTTP protocoled website from Firefox. So now I'm opening the web browser. So as we know we have found a vulnerable website named techpanda.org. So as we can see, this is not secure. So it is equipped with HTTP protocol, and we are giving some email called admin@google.com and password as capital P, password 2010, and submitting it, getting logged in. So as we can see a dashboard over here. This is a website used for educational purposes like this. So as we can see the dashboard. So whenever we have performed all these tasks, the packets relating to this will be captured by Wireshark. So already we have done our task, so the packets have already been captured. So we can stop capturing packets now. And now as we came back to the Wireshark, so we have to apply a display filter because there are so many packets like ARP, MDNS, TCP, ICMP, IGMP, etc. They are in a very large number, and as we are working only with HTTP protocol, so I'm filtering it and we'll be having only HTTP protocol. So you can observe there are so many types of HTTP also, like GET, request, response, GET. So actually for the GET packet means what happens over here is we are requesting the TechPanda server to send to us, which we are the clients, and we are requesting the data to send to us. And post, and here we can find the post, which means we are posting posting our credentials or our sensitive information to the TechPanda server. So when we select this, okay, when we select this, the information related to the packet is given over here, and when I click on the HTML hypertext transfer protocol over here, we can find our email and password very clearly, which we have typed in the browser. So this is how we can capture or crack the password of any vulnerable website using Wireshark. Now we will move to the man in the middle attack using Ettercap. Now we'll be performing our next task, which is man in the middle attack ARP poisoning using Ettercap. So our first step should be opening the Ettercap by using this command on terminal, ettercap-g. So the application is open right now. The top 4 options are visible. For starting, we have to click on sniff, unified sniffing. So as we discussed before, our network interface is ETH0. The clicking on OK. Yes, so started sniffing. Now at the top, the options will be changed as we already started sniffing. Now we have to scan for hosts. Here, Ettercap will scan all of your 255 net masks which are there in your network and adds all the IP and MAC addresses of the devices in the host list. but then there is a small error in my machine. Due to that, no host will be added in my host list. But then we have another option of adding targets by using this option, current targets. So as we know, uh, the gateway IP should be added always in target one, and the Windows machine or any other machine IP address should be added in target two. So in order to know the IP addresses of the gateway, we'll be opening the terminal again. Using the route command, we can find our gateway IP, which is visible over here. Now I'm adding it to the target one, 192.168.0.1, clicking on OK. And for the target two, be checking my Windows machine's IP address from the command prompt. The command ipconfig gives us the IP address. Here you can see it is 0.0.4. So 0.4, clicking on OK. Now both the targets have been added. Before that, we have to do some important step, which is this command. You have to execute this command. Basically, we have to look this communication in a different way. We have to look this traffic between my Windows machine and the gateway in a different way. For this, we have to make IP forward 1. So I'm using this command, clicking on 1. So in order to check whether it has changed, I'm typing this command again, cat proc sys net slash IPv4 / IP forward. Yeah, so it's 1. Now it's all good. So we have to track all this live traffic. For that, we have to go to use Wireshark again, because we are doing ARP poisoning, right? So the ARP, fake ARP or the duplicate ARP packets which are being transmitted in my network can be captured only through Wireshark. So I'm again opening the Wireshark beforehand. Now this next step is enabling ARP poisoning. So which is under ARP, which is under man in the middle. So clicking on ARP poisoning, sniff remote connections, and clicking on OK. So you can see here the ARP poisoning victims, group 1 and group 2 here. So our target 1 is the gateway address, and the group 2 with target 2 is my Windows machine host. As now ARP poisoning is enabled. So let's first get to the this techpandaarc.org in my Windows machine. So I'm opening the browser, and this already opened the website, vulnerable website TechPanda. Now I'm again logging into that. Password is password 2010. Yeah, the dashboard is visible again. So we'll be checking the Wireshark for ARP. Yeah, there are so many ARP packets have been transmitted during this time. So there are many duplicate use of 192.168.0.4 detected. So these are the poisoned ARP, which helped us to crack the details. If we check the Ettercap over here, yes. So clearly we saw the email and password clearly visible in the Ettercap, which is very dangerous for any user who is working on any unauthorized or unsecured web page or HTTP protocol websites. So this is for man in the middle ARP poisoning attack. Now we'll discuss about social engineering toolkit, and we'll be creating a phishing page and perform mass mailer attack in the next task. Now let's start our next task, which is creating a phishing web page. Here in our project, we are cloning facebook.com as a phished page and harvesting the credentials from any user, which is also known as phishing. So let's move it on this. So this command Setoolkit is used to get into this framework. Now we are in the framework now. Oh. So as we can see, there are 6 options. So for that, as we are performing social engineering attacks, you have to click 1. Now there are 10 options. So for phishing a website, we have to choose website attack vectors, which is option 2. Now I'm entering the option 2, and there are 7 different options, and the description is given below. Now we want the credential harvester, as we are trying to harvest the credentials. So the description is given over here. The credential harvester method will utilize web cloning of a website that has a username and password field and harvest all the information posted to the website. So clearly it is what we are looking for. So clicking on option 3 and clicking enter. So there are 3 options again: web template, site cloner, and custom import. The first template will allow SCT to import a list of predefined web applications that it can utilize within the attack. The second method will completely clone a website of your choosing and allow you to utilize the attack vectors within the completely same web application you're trying to clone. So this is what we are looking for. So clicking to site cloner and enter. So it will ask for our IP address for the post backend harvester or tab nagging. By default, it will be given our Kali Linux IP address, and that's where we want to post back the information to. So entering the same IP address again. Yes, so it will ask for enter the URL to clone. As we have discussed before, we wanted to clone facebook.com. So I'm entering facebook.com. Click on enter. It will take some little time. So press return if you understand what we are trying to say here. You may need to copy all this depending upon where your directory is. Yes, I understood. So I'm clicking enter. So yes, the credential harvester is running on port 80. The information will be displayed to you as it arrives below. So we are ready to go. Our first website is ready. So why don't we try it in our Windows machine? So this acts as a victim. I'm entering my Kali Linux IP address. So yeah, clearly it looks like a legitimate website, legitimate Facebook index.php website. So any victim who gets into this URL will definitely start signing in. So I'm logging in with my username and password. So whenever we log in, we press login over here, the original Facebook website will get redirected. So what does it indicate? So when any victim who undergoes this will think there is a small issue with the network or anything and enters his original details again and enters with the logins with the Facebook. And then what happens is, what the victim doesn't know is he's already been attacked. His credentials have already been harvested. So as we can observe here, the possible username field found, the email which I have entered, pramodsatya9@gmail.com, and the password I've given, which is a fake one, which is Pramod. So in this way, we can actually create a phished website and do social phishing in a real world. Real world, this type of scenarios are very common in. So now the next attack which we are trying to do is mass mailer attack. Basically the problem is, no, in a real world no person will directly enter into my Kali Linux IP address because it is unaware to most of the persons. So in order to make it legitimate, or I mean it making it convincible, or making the victim open my phished website, we can use mass mailer attack, which is also under Setoolkit. So I'm opening a new terminal and clicking on the Now, again, we have to perform social engineering attack. So before we have selected website attack vectors, but now we are performing mass mailer attack. So clicking on mass mailer attack, it will ask what do you want to do, email attack single email address or email attack mass mailer. The difference between both is if we want to send a fake email only to a single address, we have to select one, or if we want to send the fake emails to many number of people, we can give a we have to upload a file containing all the emails which we want to send fake emails. So in this case, I want to send a fake email only to a single email address. So clicking on entering one. So send email to which now we have to enter the email of victim, which is pramodsathya9@gmail.com in my case. So clicking enter. So it will ask to use a Gmail account for your email attack or use your own server or open relay. Now I will use my own Gmail attack again. It's another Gmail attack, Gmail email ID. So this is for attacker. Before this, I have to show one setting which I have to do in attacker's email address, which is Gmail, which is a very important one we have to make before starting this attack. It's the attacker email. Now we have to click on manage our Google account. So clicking on less secure app access, it will verify whether it's you or not. So you can see here some apps or devices use less secure sign-in technology, which makes your account vulnerable. You can turn off access for these apps, which we recommend, or turn it on if you want to use them despite the risks. Google will automatically turn the setting off, as I have done this before. I've given the access on. So by default, it will be off. You have to give on, just because this we have using this Kali Linux. We have giving our email address, and if we click enter, we have to give the password over here. That's why in order to avoid the critical security alerts to your account from Gmail, we have to do this, which will enable the less secure in, which means it won't give you any critical security alerts and it won't disturb your task. So the from name from the user will see, which means instead of my name, we have to give any name, like, as because this is a fake email. So in this case, I'm giving Facebook support, clicking on enter, and we have to enter the password of attacker's email. Flag this message as high priority. Yes, I want to flag this as a high priority. Do you want to attach a file? No. Do you want to attach an inline file? No. What is your email subject? So we have to give an email subject. In this case, I want to give security alert. So now entering the body of the message, dear user, we have recognized an unusual activity in your account. Please change your password using the given link below. We have to make this fake email and the body as legitimate as possible, because based on this fake email, we can trick the user or the victim psychologically, which is our main aim in social engineering attack. We are giving a link here right now. So I'm giving my Kali Linux IP address as a hyperlink. 6. Yes, we are good to go by typing, and it will start sending email to the victim's email. It will take a little time. So SET has finished sending the emails. Now we have to check our Gmail whether we have received our mail or not. So just because I have sent the mail to my own email ID, I can check it very easily right now. Yes, we have received a security alert from Facebook support. It looks very legitimate. Yes, dear user, we have recognized unusual activity from your account. Please change your password using the given below. The link is given. So as a victim, this looks very legitimate from the Facebook support. So automatically I'll try to click on this. Now, if we want to click this link, so as you can see, boom, the phished website has been opened with this Kali Linux IP. And as a victim, I don't have any idea about what I'm doing and entering my details. And when I click the login, and now I'm a victim. So the legitimate Facebook has been opened. So just because of I've already logged in before, so directly it has been opened. So it will be redirect to the original website. And as I mentioned before, already the credentials have been harvested in this case, and now you can see the possible username and password again. So in this way we can convince psychologically a victim that you're entering a you're going into a legitimate website, but then we'll be tricking him by harvesting his credentials without his knowledge or consent, which is illegal. So in this process, we are not going out of my network because we are doing this on educational purposes. So in order to make more legitimate, we can use DNS spoofing also, which gives a domain name to my Kali Linux IP address. So that's how DNS spoofing is done. So this is a project. So I would like to thank Dr. Revati S. Ma'am for giving us this amazing opportunity to prove ourselves, to prove our skills in this subject. And I thank my Dean, Dr. Siva Subramaniam Sir, and my program chair, Tripurasundari Ma'am and Vetravilan Sir. Thank you.